Well, hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day out there today. Look, come on inside of the StreamYard room. Tamu, what is it that you called today? I want to say is, I don't know, mindful motivation or whatever, but I can't have you clutching your pearls because it's not a clutching pearls Wednesday, but it's a good conversation. I want to give you some information for those of you who had joined us for homecoming. It was a spectacular time. Thank you so much for coming. Great conversation all weekend long. Who do I have here already? Hey, sissy. That's what I'm talking about. So happy that you are here inside of this space. We're going to have a conversation about clarity and stillness, right? Because we just got off our day of silence. I told you guys I would have dates for y'all today. And I do, just like I said I would. Yeah, okay. So what this is, Tamu, okay, is Monday mental stimulation. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sissy, for giving me Tamu's name. Hey, Tam, so happy that you're here inside of this space. So look, first, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Denise Merriweather. I am the CEO and founder of Queenpreneurs Jumpstart Program. It is the #1 training environment for women in the world looking to leverage their knowledge, ignite their passion, and build a highly profitable business. And how do you do this? Well, you got to build your courage, your confidence, your competence, so you can accept, believe, and commit to what it is God has called you to do. Okay, I need y'all to take out pen and paper because I'm about to give dates and times and all that stuff. And I don't want y'all to miss out on nothing. Okay, so get your papers out, pull your cards over, do whatever you need to do. It is a mental stimulation day. Clarity in stillness is the conversation that we're going to have. So I'm just talking, and maybe some points. If I tell you to write it down, write it down. If I tell you put it in the chat, put it in the chat. Okay. So listen, an amazing time in North Carolina this weekend. Southside Church of Christ, 41st anniversary or church celebration, birthday, whatever you want to call it. It was an amazing time. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you guys for the conversation. And thank you guys for just being there to help us uplift God and to celebrate how many years of service we have done as a congregation in the city of Durham. All right. So now this conversation that we have here is clarity and stillness. Put it in the chat. Clarity and stillness. So I was having a conversation with Tamu, but I also had an incident that was very similar to Tamu's that I wasn't able to, I don't think, to share with her. But y'all, I had lost some earrings. Put it in the chat. I lost some earrings. I've been traveling a lot, right? I came down to North Carolina. I did the African American Cultural Festival the beginning of September. Then after that, I think I went to Arizona. Then after that, I think I went to Grapevine, Texas. Then after that, I went to Louisville, Kentucky. Then after that, I went to North Carolina. And here we are back home safe and sound. Clarity and stillness. Thank you so much for putting that in there. So I had misplaced some earrings. And at first it was just the blue one. I have some like dangling earrings that matches a necklace, but sometimes I wear the earrings by themselves, right? Because I don't need the necklace to go with it. And I misplaced the blue ones, came back. Time for me to pack to go in North Carolina. You know, Southside everywhere colors are blue, gray, and white. So I needed these blue earrings to wear with whatever outfit I was going to need to wear for the commercial that we filmed, because we filmed the commercial while we was down there. And I was looking for the blue earrings and figured out I didn't have them inside my earring drawer. So I started looking and tearing up my jewelry drawers, trying to find these blue earrings. Put it in the chat. I couldn't find it. Put it in the chat. I couldn't find it. Now, I started this early in the day. Like, I first started to pack. Maybe it was 4:00 in the afternoon. Then I came back downstairs, didn't worry about it. Went back upstairs. Maybe about 10 o'clock, started looking for the earrings. Still couldn't find them. Now, by this time, it is midnight. After midnight, headed to the 1:00 hour. Put it in the chat. It was 1:00 a.m. I still could not find these earrings. But if you know anything about me and looking for things, y'all know I tend to flip the rock over, right? Like, I don't let it go. Put it in the chat, flip the rock over. Put it in the chat, flip the rock over. And I shared a similar story that I'm sharing with you now when I lost all my mom's messages after she passed away, right, in my phone. And it's very similar, the communication and the things that you receive in stillness when you just chill out, right? Like, ask your questions, say your prayer, but you got to be listening, right? You got to be paying attention. So as I was laying there, right, thinking that I could just relax, I'll look for it again tomorrow, but I just couldn't sleep. And normally when I can't sleep, I take it as a sign that God is trying to tell me something. Put that in the chat. Any color purple watchers out here? Y'all sing God's trying to tell you something. Put it in the chat. God's trying to tell you something. So when I could not rest, I couldn't sleep. I was just like, okay, God, this is normally a sign and indication that you want to speak to me. And I'm all ears. Put it in the chat. I was all ears. I was ready for the communication, right? Because I couldn't rest and I was tossing and turning. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't sleep. So I get up and I turn over. I put in the dark now. I pull up my photos in my phone and I start looking at the last time I wore the earrings, seeing if I took a picture. As I was thinking about it, I realized not only was I missing now the blue earrings, I'm also missing the green earrings too. Now I'm like, nope, these things got to be together. So first I called the hotel that we stayed in Louisville, Kentucky. And I said, did y'all find some blue earrings? He like, ma'am, it's like early in the wee hours of the morning. The cleaning crew don't get here until like 7, 8. You're going to need to call back when they get here because it's probably in the lost and found. And I was like, okay, no problem. And I asked John, I was like, do you remember seeing me with blue earrings? He was like, I don't remember seeing you with blue earrings. I remember seeing you with that hair wrap. I remember seeing you with black earrings. I remember seeing you with silver earrings, but no blue earrings. And I was just like, okay, all right, no problem. All right, I'm going to keep thinking about this thing. So while I'm laying there, I looked and saw that I had these green earrings on for the Labor Day African American Cultural Festival. So I'm like, all right, God, I had these recently. I got to find them. So while I was laying there in bed, I started retracing my steps. And I was like, okay, God, if I had them during Labor Day, that means it could be in my work bag. It could be in the car. It could be in the cleaning bag that I use to clean my hotel room. It could be a number of places. Where do you want me to go? So I got out of bed. So I went and disturbed my husband and he let me downstairs and I went out into the car. I started looking at the coolers that I had on site. And I was like, no, Janine, you wipe the coolers down for all the water. There was nothing left in the coolers. I came and I sat at this very desk and I said, Lord, where are the earrings? Just tell me. Now, mind you, now we talking about 2 something in the morning. We're talking about 2 something in the morning. And I started thinking about that lunch bag. And I went upstairs to the second level, went to the lunch bag. Now, inside of the lunch bag was empty, but there was a side pocket with a zipper. I opened the zipper. Not only was the blue pair of earrings in there, not only was the green pair of earrings in there, but there were also some yellow pair of earrings in there. So what happens between you asking your questions, needing direction, praying about something, talking to God about something? Here's what I noticed. When the room and my space got still and quiet, I was able to hear. Put it in the chat. When you still, you can hear. When you're still, you can hear, right? Because there's so much hustle and bustle in life. There's so many things that you're working on and you're doing and you're trying to get done. Hey, new Tiffany, how you doing? Kiss the baby for me. Hopefully Journey is doing well. But when you're in the hustle and the bustle of life, it's definitely hard for you to be able to hear communication for God, to hear your own thoughts, to be able to make sense of the actions that you've taken from day to day. And what I'm saying is there's clarity in stillness. I was all ears. Right. Like there's clarity in stillness. And you have to learn how to make yourself be still, ask your questions, but be still long enough. Say your prayers, but be still long enough to receive insight. Now, listen, there was never like, Deneen, go there, right? It was all like breadcrumbs, right? So first I looked at the pictures, right? So there was some form of searching. There was some form of me flipping rocks over. There was like, okay, God, I looked at the picture because it was nobody for him to let me to even look at the pictures to see the last time so I could retrace my steps. And here is another thing that it got. Not only does he leave breadcrumbs for you to follow, right? But he's communicating in everything. And the question is, do you pay attention? That's the question. Put it in the chat. Do you pay attention? Are you paying attention to the communication? Because there was no one else but him to lead me to, okay, Deneen, go ahead, pull up your phones, try to figure out the last time you had the earrings and if you took a picture, right? That narrowed down some of the trips for me. That took out some of the places and phone calls that I needed to make, because I was about to start texting people in the morning, like, okay, I'm gonna ask this person. I changed in this office. I changed in this bathroom. I made this move. I did this. Maybe they found them. Maybe they're holding them. Maybe they didn't know who it belonged to. But the more I started to follow the breadcrumbs from the last time I had them, all the different bags and things that I took with me on the trip, I went to the car, searched the car. I was contemplating searching the cooler, and then I searched the work bag with the computer, and then I went to the lunch bag, and the lunch bag was where I found it. So sometimes we are waiting. When we say clear communication, we're thinking like step 1, step 2, step 3. I have not found or experienced a communication from God, the Holy Spirit, or anything that gave me step 1, step 2, step 3, right? Even when I lost the messages from my mom, I was laying in bed. I couldn't sleep the night before. And I said, well, God, if you're not going to talk to me tonight, please help me go to sleep. He let me go to sleep. But the first thing he told me in the morning was, check the old phone. And I'm like, check the old phone? What is he talking about? And this was like near her death anniversary, right? I had lost the messages the June before. We switched out our SIM cards and my messages. All the messages she ever left me were gone. And he told me to check the old phone. Now, I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't talking about the lost messages. But when I got the communication and I was laying there, I was like, what? And I said, what are you talking about? Okay, like, what are you talking about? Check the old phone. And then as soon as I said those words, it was like, my mom's messages. But guess what? I had to find the own phone. So I had to call my daughter because she played with my own phone. I called my husband. Then after I found own phones, I had to find the charger. Then I had to charge the phone. Then I had to go and see if there was messages on there. Do you smell what I'm cooking? I had talked about this the other week about us saying that we want things and we want to have success and build things that we haven't seen before. We want to go places we haven't been before. And we want to serve people in ways that we haven't served people before. But I really think we give up too easy. Put it in the chat. We give up too easy. Like sometimes we think it should just be a step or two, but sometimes it's 5, 6, 7 steps. Remember when I was charged the wrong price for the trip? I had called the week before, got one price, called back to book the trip. It had double, almost triple. No, ma'am. I'm gonna need to keep flipping this rock over. I'm gonna need to keep making the phone calls until I find someone that's willing to honor what was quoted to me less than a week ago. Do you understand what I'm saying? So here's the thing. When you are in need of answers in your life, when you pray, when you ask questions, even for help with other people, do you allow enough space and time to get the answer? And how motivated, how much effort do you really put in to get what it is that you're asking for? Or do you like, I shouldn't have to do this, or this doesn't make any sense? Yeah, I get it. It may not make any sense. You may feel like it should be easier than the way that it's coming, but do you actually put the effort in? And that's what I really want us to be looking at as we're taking a look at these last 3 months of the year. You got to take a look at the performance. Put it in the chat. I got to look at my performance. I have to look at my performance. And you do. You do. Because I could have easily given up. I had even started looking on Amazon for some blue earrings to replace it. I was like, okay, I ain't going to stress about it. Let me go ahead and look and see if I can find these cube ball earrings and I'll just replace them. But I couldn't find them. And then when I realized I was missing the green ones too, I started doing it like, nope, this got to be somewhere. Like, nope, I'm not buying another. I'm not buying 2 sets of earrings to go with some necklaces that I got matches to. These things going to need to match. Okay. So look, as I sit here and I tell you and I urge you, put quiet stillness time in your day every day. It don't have to be 5 hours like we do the day of silence, 4 to 5 hours. It don't have to be that long, but give yourself 30 minutes. Even before you lay down, when you pray, give yourself some time for God to communicate to you. When you're reading scripture, when you're studying the word of God, when you're sitting in worship service and you're taking notes and you're listening intently, sometimes you get nudge when something is said. Maybe your heart is pricked in a particular way. That's communication. Do you get that? Put it in the chat. Do you get that? Like that nudging of, I should do this. Maybe that's my situation. Maybe I should reach out to this person. Maybe I should have this conversation. Do you get like that nudging, that pull or that push towards something or towards a conversation or a person is not for nothing? The same way as a pull going away from the thing, the person like, nah, don't do that. No, don't ask them that. No, don't go in that space, right? It's all communication. And with you giving yourself time and quietness, this is just something to think about. And I was talking to Tamu about what she was looking for and how she found it, right? Just having her to give me the account of the situation, like, or how did you know that that's where it was? Like, when did you get to the point where you was like, oh my God, it's in this box? And see, for her, it was like, there's nothing else for me to do. Like, I'm at the brink of, okay, Father, if you don't come through with this, we're going to have a situation, right? And sometimes it comes to that for us to be still enough, quiet enough, to be intrigued enough or locked in enough to be able to hear the communication. Like, what is it? For me, I know when I can't sleep, there's action for me to take, right? Whether it's prayer, whether it's get up, whether it's writing a journal, whether it's go outside, whether it's go for work. When I can't sleep, communication is needing to take place, meaning I got to give space to receive whatever communication, whatever thoughts, whatever is happening internally, so I can breathe and I can sleep and I can rest in peace. But that means, she said, right, 2 weeks for me to pay attention to what God was telling me. Yeah, it takes time. It's all right. Like, think of all the hustle and bustle. If you don't have silence in your day, 9 times out of 10, you're missing a whole lot of communication. So I want you to know that. So I'm trying to encourage you that clarity comes in stillness. It's in there, but you got to pin yourself down and be still so you can get the communication and the guidance and the direction that you're saying that you so desperately need and want. But if you're not giving yourself space and time to have it, it's not going to come. And you don't want, like the minister was saying this weekend, like the thing about change and things shifting and moving around in our lives is sometimes because we're so comfortable with things remaining the same, it prevents from a lot of amazing things to happen because we don't like to be uncomfortable. We don't like not knowing. We don't like taking a risk. We don't like putting ourselves out there. We don't like the effort and going hard and looking foolish. And all those things are required for you to be successful, to have change, to get community, to get support. Like sometimes, I know I'm getting hyped. Let me bring back down because this is thinking. Sometimes you got to do something that you're not accustomed to doing. And if being quiet and being still to allow God to speak or for your prayers to be answered is what it is, then that's what you need to do. So our next day of silence will be taking place on December 10th. December 10th, Sunday, December 10th. And we'll go from 2 to 6. And then we'll meet from 6 to 7. And then 7 o'clock, I'll be prepping or meeting with who's ever going to be on the 12 days of Christmas. Okay? 2 to 6, December 10th, 4 hours of silence. Get on the Zoom, go through our stuff, figure out what our action items is going to be, how we're going to move forward, and then 12 days of Christmas. Okay? So we'll be together for a long time. Maybe not during the 4 hours, but the day will be full. Okay? So December the 10th, 2 to 6, day of silence. 6, we're going to hop on Zoom from 6 to 7. 7 o'clock, I'll prep with my speaker for 12 days of Christmas. And then you'll join me back live at 8 o'clock for the 12 days of Christmas. Fair? Okay. That's on the 10th of December. Now, I talked to a group of people about vibing with me on Mondays, right? So the first Monday we'll be meeting will be on October. What's next Monday? Is it the 8th? Please hold for excellent customer service. I'm pulling this up right now. At 8 o'clock, you will have a Zoom to the 9th. You will have a Zoom to join me, a Zoom link to join me for our commitments. And remember, the first thing we're working on are our calendars. Okay, so if you don't have the top 30 things that you need to have on your calendar. You need to invest in it. Go get it. $27. I know Tiffany got hers. We're working on our calendars, meaning you should be working on your calendar now. And then we're going to talk about any hangups, breakdowns, the criterias. Like in the video, I give you the criteria on how to actually say yes and no to the things that's coming in your life. Because you can't say yes to everything and expect to be able to get the things done that God has called you to do. You got that? Like some stuff, you got to leave that other good work for some other people to do. And for the things that's assigned to you, you need to do the things that's assigned to you. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So you'll be receiving a Zoom link. For those of you who gave me your name on last week, I wrote it down. I'm going to send you an email or a text message with the link in there to join me next Monday at 8 o'clock. Okay, it's going down. We're talking about planning, schedules, calendar, all that stuff. That is the time. You got it? That's right. 12 days of Christmas. The Day of Silence, December 10th, 2 o'clock to 6, Zoom 6 to 7. Perfect. You got it. Then the 12 days of Christmas, I don't know what day it's going to be, but it's already on the calendar that it happens at 8 o'clock p.m. So somebody will be there speaking at that time, that same day. And then next week, for those of you who agreed to meet with me on Mondays, we will be meeting on Mondays at 8 o'clock. So I got the list of the people that said yes. And then now I want to invite a couple of people. As soon as I get off of here, I need to have a meeting. LaShawn, I'm going to call you as soon as I get off so we can finish our conversation if you haven't done everything that you needed to do yet. And then I have a 6 o'clock, and then I go live at 7. So there's a lot more to do. Okay, today is not the day we start, though. Next week is the day we start at 8 o'clock. This week, work on your calendar, redo your calendar, get your stuff done, get it in there, and bring any questions that you have about your calendar to the 8 o'clock session next week. Got it? All right. It's at 8 o'clock, Monday, 8 o'clock. All right. Always looking forward to serving you guys. I will see you guys next week on Monday, for those of you who agreed. And then Wednesday, 5 o'clock. Friday, 5 o'clock. We're going to be here live at 5 with Denise Merriweather. Always looking forward to serving you. Get your dates, write them down. If you got questions, text me, DM me. You wondering what I'm talking about? Mondays at 8, go back and watch last Wednesday, because that's where it went down on Clutch Pearls Wednesday. All right, always looking forward to serving you. Love you guys. I'm live at 5. Hey, I'm live.